All right. So the first thing I want you all to do is go onto Canvas and go to the ease assignment description. And I want you to re-download these CAD files. What your ease assignment is going to be is basically you're going to redo the directivity assignment that you did last month. You're going to redo that assignment in ease, okay? So you're going to need the CAD file again.
We need Excel again?
No, I don't think so. So download those CAD files and then get Windows going and get those files opened in AutoCAD. I have some CAD files here that I'm going to use as a demo. Yes? What do you mean?
Like, are there points that we need to reference or whatever in these drawings, or are these just the base drawings?
I think they're just the base drawings, yeah. I think. I don't know. Let me look and see.
Because I just, in documentation, I just created my own template for these theaters so that I don't hiding everything.
Yeah, it looks like it's just the regular drawing, so. All right. So get that downloaded, get Windows running, and get those CAD files open in AutoCAD. So the next thing is and we're going to do this one person at a time, so don't do this with me right now. Okay? So I'm going to open ease. Now I got them to reset our licenses, so we should have all 10 available now, but that will only stay that way if we follow instructions. Okay? So when I launch, do not do this with me. But when I launch ease, it asks me, would you like to register now? And I will say yes. And it will open up EaseGuard. And I will click Info to make sure that I have connectivity to the server. And it says, okay, number of licenses already used is 0. That's good. We haven't lost any in the last 4 hours since they reset them. So now I'm going to download a license. And I will wait. Okay, success. And then I will click OK, and I will wait until this thing says finished. And once it says finished, then I will click exit and launch ease again. Okay, who is ready to do that step now? Okay, Connor, you do your license. We're going to do these one at a time. I don't want everyone doing them all at the same time. Tell me when you have yours. Okay.
I forgot to do it the other day. I will do it now. This is for the year subscription. So I'm transferring it from the free trial to the one I paid for. Did you just miss the cloud there? Did you how did you I just went to cameras and logged in on my account.
You good? Okay. Who would like to do it next? Kat, you ready? So remember the steps. Do them all.
It says there are 2 licenses right now.
Yeah, mine and Connor's.
Oh, okay. I got so confused.
So you'll make 3.
Yeah, you were like, wait a minute.
All right. Did it work?
Yes, it says 3.
Okay, so that should be 3. Who's going to go next? Eric can be 4. Remember all those steps. All right. So you'll be number 4. Did it work?
License successfully installed.
Okay, good. It says finished. Okay, you're good.
Exit.
Yep. Okay, now who's going to go next? Seth. Okay, so Seth should be 5. Okay, hang on one second. So did it work, Seth? You're good? Okay, so that should be 5. Yes, Reese, now you can go. You should be 6.
Yeah, because I was like wondering, since I didn't see what your answers, I guess we could probably work on something else.
Did it work?
It's still finishing up. Okay,
Okay.
just finished. I'm gonna check it again for the info. Okay, it says there's 6 in each.
All right, so you're 6. All right. Next. Okay. So if you're going to do it, just make sure that you get it uploaded before your battery dies. Okay? Otherwise, we'll lose the license. Go to the menu. Remember, you go to the help menu. Up here, up here. And then go to register. Nope, nope. Click info first. Make sure you have connectivity. What- Okay, that should be right. So now you can download. Okay. All right, very good. That's 7. All right, Lee, you ready to do yours? Mm-hmm. That's the right number. Very good. Yes, please.
License successfully installed.
Excellent.
Finished and click info after that.
You can click exit. All right. Yes, Jesse. Now. Great. Excellent. Okay, so with these launched here, there's just some settings we need to fix. So go to the File menu and select Options. And in the Ease options, you want to go to Settings. And it's probably defaulting to metric for your units. Set that to English. And then hit Apply. And then OK. And that should be good. And then you're going to want to go ahead and go to the File menu and say New Project. Settings.
The first part.
Yeah, Settings.
And we just set it, the units to English.
Mm-hmm. So then you're going to go and select a new project from the File menu, and this window will pop up. Now I want to impress something upon you at this stage. Does everyone have this window up now? Okay, you will notice there is this thing called Project Path. And it says C/users/public/documents/ease40data/projects40/project1/. You see that? This is the location of your ease library. And this is the place on your computer where ease is the most comfortable with your files being located. Now, it's very important that you understand, just like ease is multiple programs, an ease project is multiple files. And if you're used to like just throwing things on the desktop, for example, if you put this project on the desktop, you're about to just litter your desktop with like 6 or 7 files. And no single one of those files is useful without the other ones. And therefore, you will make your life a lot more complicated if you just start splashing these files randomly all over your computer. It is very important that you get used to putting these files in that ease library. Let me show you where that's located. So if you open up your File Explorer here, we can scroll down and we should see the local disk C. In local disk C, there is a folder called Users. Inside of there should be a folder for each user account on your computer. I only have one user account on this computer, so it just says Jason, but it also has public. Default is a hidden file that you may or may not see depending on if you've got hidden files turned on. Public is a folder where you can put files that all users will be able to read and write there. Okay? Public is the folder where your ease library is going to be located. So you're going to open public, and inside of here is a whole bunch of public folders. You want public documents. And inside of public documents, there's a folder called ease40 data. That's your ease library. So you open that up, and here's a whole bunch of folders related to ease. Now, the place where your project files go is in the projects40 folder. So you open that up, there's your projects. Now what you might notice is that each project has a folder. And I've got a bunch of projects here. And what you'll see, I want to just drive this home. If I open up one of these projects, you see all these different files that are in there? That's what I'm talking about. When you make an ease project, it makes multiple files. And you have to keep them together. If you don't keep them together, they're useless. And you will have to start over. Okay? If you don't keep these together, your data gets corrupted, and you will lose work and time, and you'll have to start over. Okay? So this is not one of those things where, yeah, Jason said that, but I'm just going to do it like this because this is what I'm used to. No. Do it exactly the way I'm telling you to do it. All right? So the project file name, you can call this whatever you want. Going back into ease, I'm going to just call it 2023 _ class _ demo. The hall is the name of the theater if you want to put that in there. It's not super important for most cases, most of the things you're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and call mine the Pearl because that's where this is. Actually, I'm just going to call this the same thing, 2023 _ class _ demo. And what you'll notice is this project path has now changed to create a folder with the name of the hall. Okay? And that's very important. That's a folder it's going to make that it's going to put all these files into. Okay, so once you've done that, you can click Create. And it should give you this thing. Hey, the folder where you said to put this stuff doesn't exist. Would you like to create that folder? Say, yes, please do that. OK. And now it'll give it to you. OK, so everybody get that far. OK, everybody got there? All right. So now that we're in here, it should default by selecting what's called the Room Edit folder. And in there, there's some icons here. The one you want is the one that says Modify Data. Just double click on that, and it will launch a second program in the background. You see back in here? There's the second program flashing down here in the little status bar here. Click on that, and it'll bring that one forward. Okay. This is the Ease Edit Project application. Okay. Okay. So this is where you draw the room. Is everybody here? Everybody with me? This is where we draw the room in Ease. There's a couple of things you're going to want to verify. You're going to want to go to this Edit menu and select Room Data. And there's two really important options here. One is Room Open. Make sure that's checked. If you uncheck that, then you will add 20 times more work for yourself in drawing this room. Room Open means you don't have to draw the walls or the ceiling, or the room does not have to be a sealed room in order for Ease to be willing to give you information about it. Okay, so for most of what we do, that's totally acceptable. So make sure that's clicked. Second one is Room Symmetric. Most theaters are symmetrical, in my experience, in the sense that if you slice them down the center line, each side of the room is basically identical from an architectural point of view. Okay, and that is really useful when drawing in Ease, because if you turn on Room Symmetric and have that turned on, that means you only have to draw one side of the room, and Ease will automatically draw the other side for you, which can cut your drawing time literally in half. Okay? Now, room symmetry presents some issues that you might encounter later that we'll deal with, but unless you are dealing with a non-symmetrical room, which is probably not going to be very often, I would highly recommend making sure that's on before you start drawing, so that it will draw the room symmetrically. I think everything else in here should be fine. Yeah. So you can click Apply, and then OK to close that window. OK? So now let's go over to AutoCAD, and let's look at your AutoCAD file. So this is mine. What's that? You're just making sure that Room Open and Room Symmetry are checked. Mm-hmm. OK, so let's go to your CAD files. Now, my CAD file is going to be different from yours. Some of you will have the Patron. Some of you have the Friedman. Just make sure you downloaded the right one from Canvas. But you're going to want to make sure that your UCS is in the right place. Okay. Now, in my case, the origin of this drawing is the upstage wall. And when drawing in Ease, Ease really wants the UCS pointed a very specific way. And that way is that Y is pointed upstage, away from the audience. Okay? And X is pointed offstage left. Okay? Or house right, whichever way you want to look at it. It's very important that before you start drawing that you get this oriented in that direction. If you don't do that, you will have a very confusing experience in Ease. Yes?
Is it important that like the ground plan, for example, the stage is left, or can the stage, or can the house be south oriented? Does that matter?
I don't understand the question.
In AutoCAD, if your drawing was rotated 90 degrees,
Yeah.
90 degrees out
Oh, I see.
clockwise, is that fine as long as UCS?
As long as the UCS is pointed in the right direction, then yes. So here's what I'm going to do. In my ground plan, I'm going to type UCS, and it's going to say specify the origin. So I'm going to go in, and I'm going to click in that spot, which is, in my case, right there. There's a little point for it. So you're going to want this to be, in most cases, the intersection of center line and plaster line, okay? Or the intersection of the two center lines, or whatever you decide it is for your drawing. But you got to make sure it's consistent in both files. So I'm going to put mine at the upstage wall center. And I click there. Now, it says specify a point on the x-axis. Now, I'm going to point offstage left and click. And then it says specify a point on the xy plane. And this is basically which direction is y, because y could point downstage or y could point upstage. I want y to point upstage, so I'm going to click on that upstage direction. And now that UCS is pointed the way that I want it. Okay? Now that's in the ground plan view. In the section view, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to type UCS. Now, if your ground plan and section is in the same is on the same drawing, I would go ahead and just put your UCS on the in the right place on the ground plan, and then you can just measure height on the section view, okay? Because I think the undergrads, it's together. It's one file. So just put it up, put the UCS in the ground plan, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click in the same spot all the way upstage at the floor in this case. It says the x-axis. Well, in this case, I'll use x as a stand-in for y. So I'll just have x pointing up, and y will continue to point upstage away from the audience. Okay? You got to get these in the same spot. If you've got separate files, make sure they're in the same spot in both drawings. You'll probably, yeah. It's up to you.
Or does it matter?
It only matters if you decide to interpret it differently on the two drawings. As long as,
I mean, the ground plan, obviously, there is no
yeah.
It has
You just need to decide where you're gonna put 0 for your z-axis.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to do the top of the turntable, fine. If you want to do not turntable, that's fine too.
Eventually, this will spit out coordinates from where we decide to put our loudspeakers, right? Referencing this UCS.
Mm-hmm.
So we probably want to, whatever is really the case.
Yep. It's up to you how you want to make that decision, but you just have to make sure you know what decision you made and that you are consistent. Okay? Eric?
Yeah, I was just like wondering the position of our UCS. I know you said ground plan, but is the plaster line that purple line that goes through?
Well, you have two center lines, so I would suggest putting it in the intersection of the two center lines.
Oh, okay.
That would be my recommendation, but that would make the most sense.
Yeah, but then
But if you want to put it upstage wall, that's fine too.
well, then again, like where we are is like the stage is right here instead of right here.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
Makes no difference at all. The thing that is important is that X and Y are pointed in the right direction. That is the important part.
Yeah, they're throwing me off, so I need to take a second to turn those off.
Okay?
So bright.
So the ground plan for us, basically the intersection of both the plaster lines.
Yeah, I would do. That's what I would do. I would do the intersection of those two center lines, but you could also do center line and upstage wall if you wanted. Either way is fine.
Y upstage,
Y needs to point upstage, away from the audience.
and then X stage up.
Yes.
So wait, why needs to point away from the audience?
Yes, and that is critically important. It is critically important that Y points away from the audience.
Oh, 'cause I think it mostly applies to the graphics because with this here,
and it should not point to the audience.
So type in,
You want Y pointed away from the audience.
Well, here's the audience.
Yep,
Right
so
here.
you want it pointed away from the audience. Critically important.
oh, away from, look at me.
So type UCS. Do what I said. Don't do it differently. UCS. Click on the spot where it goes.
Yeah, and now, yeah,
And it says now, no, it says where should X go?
this is where X should go.
Nope.
Y should go here.
X should go off stage left. You just did off stage right. So start over.
That's not someone but they stop snapping. I'm on the button. There
Okay,
we
so,
go. And then the purple one. Yes.
there
And
we
then
go.
just rotate your mouse.
Yes, that looks right.
I thought right there.
Is mine
That's
correct?
upstage.
Once.
No, but what?
I need to stage left. I know the audience is here.
Yep, that's right. Yes.
When plotting out this audience area, because it's kind of staggered, would you put a point here and a point here, or would you just do it as one big box?
Mm,
I'm
Yeah.
kind of thinking just a big box because they could
Yeah.
put extra seats in.
yeah, probably. All right, everybody else got their UCS pointed the right way?
This is correct, right? Why that?
That is correct, yes.
Do we do anything on the section view for our?
No, I would, since it's on the same drawing, you don't need to worry about it. All right. Everybody there? Okay. I am attempting to record it. Okay. So what we have to do now is draw this room in ease. Okay? And the parts that you draw are the seats, where the audience sits, because that's where the sound goes, right? Jesse, you had a question?
I do. For the units in CAD, that should be decimal feet, right? Not decimal inches.
It should be. So I'll get there in just a sec. So what you got to do is when you draw in ease, you draw shapes that represent the audience areas. And the shapes that you draw must be drawn using 4 points. No more, no less. So you have to look at these surfaces and figure out, how do I draw that using shapes that are only 4 points? It's like you're playing connect the dots, right? 4 dots. How do I draw that using shapes that can be drawn using only 4 dots? Okay? More than 4 dots, and you will make your life a lot more complicated. Okay? So don't do that. Let's take a look at this. So I'm going to draw this seating unit 3 here first. So I'm going to go in and say, all right, looks like the front of this seating unit, because they've got a row of seats on the floor, the person's head is going to be here on that line, right? So that's where I'm going to draw it. So I'm going to draw a point right there. Okay. And it's really tiny, so I guess I'll go ahead and do the units now. So your file is probably in architectural units. 1 unit equals an inch. You're going to need to scale that. So this is what Jesse was saying earlier. So the first thing I'm going to do is type units. And I'm going to switch this to decimal. And then click OK. And then I'm going to scale it. So I'm going to type scale, enter, select objects, all, enter, enter. Specify base point, 0, 0, enter. Scale factor, 1 divided by 12. Then you can zoom to get it all back. Now it's in decimal feet. I'm going to do that for the section as well. So I'm going to type units, set it to decimal. I mean, I've shown, this should be familiar to you. We've done this before, but just to review. So now it's in decimal, and now I'm going to scale. All, enter, enter. 0, 0 is the base point. 1/12 is the scale factor. Zoom extents gets me back in. Okay? There we go. Now that point's a little bit bigger. All right, so to draw this seating unit 3, because it has this taper in it, I'm going to have to break this up into 2 shapes. So I'm going to put a point there. And then I'll put another point in the back corner here. There. So ultimately, I'm going to end up with a shape, a 4-corner shape, which is the front half of this, and then a different 4-corner shape that is the back half of this.
That was the question I had.
And both of them together would represent the seating area. Okay? All right. So I have my strategy. Now it's time to do it. So what you're going to do is you're going to select that little point you drew, and you're going to snap your cursor. See how your cursor snaps to that point once it's selected when you get close to it? Very important. Now, while it's snapped, Eric?
Yeah. You can continue with this, but when you're done with this, can you run me by it again because Windows crashed on me while you were talking about this.
Windows crashed on you?
It did, and I had to close my computer and reopen it.
Can you check your ease license and make sure it didn't get messed up? And I'll come back and look at it in a second. So you're going to snap your cursor to that spot. And once it's snapped, hands off your mouse, hands off your trackpad. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. If you are running Parallels, and you have AutoCAD running, the Mac version of AutoCAD running in the background, you are going to select Command Tab. And you're going to keep holding down the Command button and keep hitting Tab until you see Ease Room Editor. And then you're going to let go of the command, and you'll get this. All right? If you're not running Parallels or VMware or something, and you've got AutoCAD running in the Windows version behind Ease, then you're going to do Alt-Tab and keep going until you get the room editor, and then you're going to release the Alt. Now, why was that important? Well, because my cursor was locked to that spot, right? Now, I'm just going to resize my window here so I can see those coordinates underneath there. You see that? The cursor is still locked to that spot. And now I can see the coordinates, and now I can access them here in Ease. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw that same point here in Ease. And I do that by clicking this button right here, the little X on the left side. It says Insert Vertex. So I'm going to click that, and it activates that tool. And then I'm going to click literally anywhere inside of this window. I'm just going to click, and it brings up this window here. And I'm going to type in the X, Y, Z values. Now, X, according to my AutoCAD window, is 14.502. Insert vertex. It's the one that's on the left side of the window that has the little X on it. You click that, and then you click inside the edit window. And then the Y value for this is negative 54.8978. And it wants a Z value. Well, what is Z? Well, we're drawing in 3D here. You've been used to X and Y coordinates. Now we're going to do a z. So now your UCS is not just this. It's now this. So you've got x, y, and then z. Z points up in the air. So z is how far up in the air is this? Well, gee, I don't know. Let's go find out. So I'm going to go back over to AutoCAD by doing that Command-Tab or Alt-Tab trick. And I'm going to look in the section view. And I'm going to figure out, well, I'm doing the first row of seats, and that sits on the level of this stage deck, right? So I'm going to draw a point right there. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to see what my z value is, which right now x is standing in for z, and it says 0. Now, if your section is in the same view or in the same file, then you're just going to basically measure from 0 to wherever your point is. So, like if you're trying to get this point, you're just going to do a measure distance, and you can go. I mean, this first point is probably always going to be 0 because that's where your UCS is going to be. But like if in Friedman, for example, the front row is probably below the edge of the level of the stage. So you're going to want to measure down. But you have separate files anyway, so it should be OK. But all you're going to do is measure from wherever you know 0 to be to wherever you want the point to be. And you can see in this case it's 1.25. That's going to be your z value, right? But in this case it's 0. So I'm going to tab back over. And I'm going to make sure that says 0.00. And I click OK. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, where did it go? I thought I drew a point. Ease is broken. Oh no, let me try again and draw it again. Oh no, I don't see it. What am I doing wrong? Let me try it again. No, you did it. You did it right the first time. You just can't see it. You can't see it because you're zoomed in too far. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to click this zoom out button. Actually, hang on. Did I do that right? Why am I forgetting what that? Oh, I see. So I'm going to just click and click and click, and it's going to zoom out. Yeah. Oh, there it is. The other thing you can do is you can drag these sliders. Okay, so this is like a pivot thing. This is like a rotate thing. And this is a zoom thing. Okay, just to make myself not have to worry, but I'm going to switch to plan view, which is this down arrow up here, so I can look down, and there I can see it. And notice how it's drawn 2 points. A point called P1 and a copy of it because of the mirror, right? Okay, now I want to just circle the room, catch everybody up, make sure you got a point drawn. Okay? So Eric.
I want to make sure, like, how do I check to see if the license is?
Yep, go to help, register. Yes. And it says you've got one. So hit refresh actually, and let's just see. Okay, yeah. All right, you're good. So click exit. Click exit.
Oh, exit.
Okay. So
reopen ease.
Yep. And you're going to do this. You're going to draw a point.
Yeah.
Okay. So had you already made the project?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so let's open the project. Go to File, Open Project. And
It was in.
what did you call it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. There's your project. So yes, draw a room. And there's your thing there. So you should be able to put the point in there now.
It's like put it right here.
You,
Yeah, 'cause, like,
you
I'm-
put it where the AutoCAD file says to put it.
Yeah, and I missed those steps because like
Yeah.
I was so distracted.
Okay.
It's like
So-
point, yeah.
So you got to figure out where the front edge of your stage is.
It's like
Well, there's your first row of seats, right?
yeah. So like it could be like right here.
Yeah, well, that's your first row of seats, okay? So you're going to go to the far edge of that.
That's where a person's head would be.
Yeah, which would be the back. So just like literally click on the back of the seat right there. No, at the corner. At the corner. There you go. That's your point. Okay, so click on that point. Lock to it. No, so just drag your cursor over to it and snap it. There you go. Now hands off your mouse
Oh,
and do Command or Alt Tab.
all. Oh, this is not what I. Yeah.
No.
Oh,
So in your case, it's Option.
I
So-
just don't, I don't know if it's gonna work the same. Is it?
Yeah. So okay, hands off your mouse.
All right,
I said
okay.
hands off your mouse.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know if it was.
Okay, let's get this sorted out so that it's not. We got to fix this so it's showing your coordinates. There we go. There we go. All right. So hang on. Did you rotate this?
No. I didn't. This is 2024.
Okay.
Did it like respond differently than 2023?
Yeah, it like somehow you had rotated, and so all you're dragging around. Okay.
Oh, it's because of like the UCS, isn't it? So.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Option tab.
Yep. And tab over, yep, to edit project. Now release, hands off your mouse.
Okay.
This doesn't work if you put your hand on the mouse, okay? Let's try this again, because you moved it. See, it's moved.
Okay.
Snap, Alt, or Option, Tab. Now just keep clicking Tab until you get edit project. Now
Release.
okay, now you can move your mouse.
To.
Now those are your coordinates, except it looks like you need to scale. You haven't scaled your coordinates. You're still in inches.
Oh, I need to scale this whole diagram.
Yeah, scale it the 1/12. Everybody else got their point drawn? You got your point drawn? You got your point drawn? You got a point drawn?
I've got a lot of points.
What's that?
I'm not getting the second point, and also I just panned somehow,
Okay.
uncertain how.
So just go to plan view.
Yes, I am in plan view. but
Okay.
I panned somehow.
And then let's click that little
Okay.
full view. There you go. That's the button I was looking for earlier.
Hello.
Oh, you don't have vertex turned on. So click that little X there. Nope. This one there. The one above it. Click that. There.
Oh, hello.
Okay. So you're gonna click that. Yep.
Insert vertex.
And then click in there, inside the window.
Yeah, it's like right
And now you type the coordinates in.
which
Okay.
Which would be
Yep.
like 11.2 feet.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There you go. Okay. Yeah. If your room symmetry is turned on, you should.
Mine wasn't showing until I clicked the switch vertices on.
Yeah. So make sure make sure you've got your vertex labels turned on right there. And then let's hit world there. And are you in plan view? There you go. There's both of them.
So, and this one's not meant to be labeled anymore, right? Now that
Well, you should be able to see a label. Turn on your vertex labels.
no.
There you go.
Ah.
Yes.
Just remind me real quick. The white outline means you're looking at the back or the bottom of it.
Yeah, you've done it backwards. Yep.
So I did that one right. I did that one wrong.
All right. You got a point drawn in the right place?
Almost.
Okay.
What'd you say the Z coordinates was?
You tell me. So if you go into your CAD file now. Oh wait, did you already enter it?
Oh yeah, I did. Was it? I wasn't supposed to do that.
No, you got to have the Z. So click on that point. Oh, wait, where'd it go? Oh, you turn on your labels.
What?
That little X right there. And turn on the little VX. Okay, click on that P1. No, with the edge of the wand. Now right click. And select properties. Okay, now go back to your CAD file and look in your section view.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a little hard to.
All right,
Okay,
so
I don't know what this point is
I
doing
don't-
there.
those are something else. So that first row of seats is right on the floor, right? And so that's where your UCS is going to be. So yes, it's going to be 0. Okay? So Z would be 0.
Whoa.
So this is 0?
No, those points are not yours.
Oh, okay.
You ignore those. You can even delete them if you want. How do you delete things in AutoCAD?
Well, you gotta highlight them.
And then what command do you use?
You gotta delete, right?
E. Enter.
Erase.
Remember from last year? E. Enter. There you go. Okay. So yeah, if you're on the floor, your UCS is Z is going to be the stage deck. So if that seat is on the floor, then your Z is 0. Okay. Okay. So you would put that in, and then you'd hit it. Okay. You got it?
No, I don't, because I don't have AutoCAD on this, and I've never been able to get it as a student this entire semester. So that's where we are with this process. It's on my other computer. so-
Okay. Yeah. You're not going to be able to get anything done without AutoCAD.
Yeah, I just
So we got to figure out how you got that. Like,
Basically,
so let's find a minute to look at that and see if we can get your AutoCAD license set up. Okay, everybody else got it? Yes. No.
Yeah, I'm having issues. I
Okay.
feel like I messed something up.
Sure. So let's click Plan View, and then click that yellow sun thing. Okay, now that's everything. Let's turn on your vertex labels, that little X button there. Nope, the one above it. There they are. And then turn on the names for it, which is that VX button.
This one?
Yep. There you go. Now you see them. Okay. So we got it. Anybody else need help finding this? Okay. Yep.
Are those coordinates right? Because I haven't. I have the Y.
Looks like you still need to scale. Like you've got really. Did you put your UCS at the upstage wall or at the center lines?
Center lines.
So where is it then?
UCS?
Yeah.
So I have the UCS here, just like that.
Okay. So put it there. Put X in the right place. There you go. And then Y in the right place. Good. Okay, now go click on that spot. Yeah, you're still in inches, it looks like.
Oh. Is that
So you got to scale
I wasn't pressing this.
1/12 this whole drawing.
It doesn't.
I put in 112. I just click.
Yeah, so you're at scale factor now. So 1 divided by 12. Enter. There you go.
What?
Now it should be right.
Jason, I know I'm getting ahead of you, but when picking speakers, is the guideline that we need to use speakers in our shop, or can we use anything?
For this project, you're going to recreate what you did with the directivity assignment.
Gotcha.
Okay. Are we good? Everybody got your points?
Well, I have 1 point.
Okay.
Well, 2.
All right.
the other points that were in there, was it just like the X and Y coordinates?
What other 2 points?
Yeah, that were in here. Do I need to erase these?
No, those are literally the ones you drew.
Oh. Okay.
Remember, it mirrors it.
Yeah. because we have room symmetry on, so it mirrors them.
Which is really nice.
Okay? You okay, Lee?
I am in nowhere land. I see gray.
Okay. So let's turn on your vertex labels. Hit that little X, not the one up above it. And let's turn on the names for them, which is that VX.
This?
No, the one next to it, to the left. There you go. Click the yellow moon button. That's what I was looking for earlier.
Oh.
And then let's look at plan view.
Which is
Straight down. So did you draw the point yet?
no.
Looks like no. Okay, so once you draw it, you'll see it. All right. So now I'm going to draw a second point. You ready? So I'm going to go grab this other point here. Again, I'm going to snap to that location, hands off the mouse, and then I'm going to Command Tab over to the room editor, and I'm going to do it again. So I'm going to plop another point. And this time, my coordinates in my case are 17.8058, and the y is minus 60.8977. Now, what is my z value? Oh, I don't know. Let's see. So I'm talking about third row here. So third row, there is a seat here, and a seat here, and a seat here. This is where the bottom of my third row would be. Now, so I'm going to go ahead and put the point there. Now, in my case, the coordinates are going to work, but if in case your section view is on the same drawing, here's what you're going to do. You're going to draw a construction line. So I'm going to say X line, and I'm going to draw that at the floor just to make sure it goes all the way across. Okay? And then I'm going to draw another construction line that intersects with the spot that I want. Okay? And then I'll measure the distance between the point and that intersection of construction lines, which in this case is 2.5. That's how you would get the height for those of you that have the section in the same file. Okay? But if I hover over the mouse, in my case, it should say 2.5, which is the z value. So I'll put that in, 2.5, and then I'll click OK. And then I'll click this little yellow full view button, which should let you see all four of them. Okay? Everybody get to that point where you've got a second set of points. Yes?
Friedman specific question.
Yeah.
Should I factor in the rake change? And where does the rake change? Like I can tell it's in here-ish.
Yeah, technically it's there. It starts, but you know, is that super important? Maybe not.
I'm gonna not.
Okay.
It doesn't. It's not.
It's not gonna be consequential.
If it's like a few inches, like
I think you're putting them on the section view, right, Jason?
If you want, you could just use my coordinates for now,
So what would they do if I have AutoCAD though?
because you just use my coordinates. Then you don't have to measure anything.
I remember how to get like points smaller.
Point style.
I wish there was like an AutoCAD option where we could just type in zoom and it shows you. Yeah, I don't know what she learned.
Yep. Go to point. No.
Yeah.
I believe it's like, is it P style maybe?
P-type.
P type. There you go.
Gosh, Catherine, I messed it up.
So the units, you've got 12, so put 1. Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
There you
so
go.
basically, what you were doing was putting them on the section plan. So it's like, is this an ideal position?
Okay, well, in your case, think about your seating area. How many points are you going to need to draw this seating area? Look at it.
1, 2, 3.
No. That seating area.
This seating area?
The whole thing. In your case,
Oh, like it's like
it's a square.
so each individual square.
No. The whole thing is a square
Oh.
or a rectangle,
So
right? So just go to the back row.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't know what you were doing. But you were pointing.
Well,
at the back row?
because my seating area changes, right? If I look at mine, it tapers. Yours doesn't. Right?
So I don't think we need to move the UCS. I think we just measure
So what I would suggest is go to, don't move the UCS.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Go back to your plan view.
I have to delete my point too, because I'll mess it up. I can't find anything. Like,
Yeah. As soon as I come in Thursday, I'm gonna bring my mouse.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead, go find that point that you made.
What's the command like hand?
Pan.
and why heck?
Okay. So draw yourself a construction line from that point straight back. X line.
I think something
No, X line, not line. X line. X line. Okay. So click that point and draw it off that direction. There you go. And that would be your back point.
Okay.
Okay. Where that intersects.
And still no Z?
Well, you're going to need Z, yeah, but you got to get your XY first. Okay.
Right point?
Yeah, so those of you doing patrons, you can do this with just one one rectangle, right? You don't need to split it up like I'm doing for mine.
That's good.
Yes?
For the second point, let me here. Well, one, I kind of need help because I messed up the mirroring at one point. So I just need to figure out, I just need to delete one of the points, point 2.
So click the non-starred one. Again, get out of that actually.
Okay.
Click the P2. No, click it with the, there you go.
Gotcha.
Now right click.
Oh my god.
Yeah, you guys are really going to want a mouse for this.
Yeah. There we go.
And click delete.
Just, okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay?
Cool. And then I guess I need to delete.
It depends on what it looks like. That
You
was
want
our
you
second-
draw the floor.
Okay.
The floor is your Z. Draw the floor.
the corridor.
So there's my first one that you can use. Okay? So I'm waiting for everybody to have a rectangle, or at least a 4-point thing.
You got it right.
I don't know where these points came from. These are
You want to insert rotate?
Mm-hmm.
Jason,
Mm-hmm.
loudspeaker aiming is back center, right? Back right center.
I don't know. Is that what you did for your other project?
Yeah.
Then yes. Okay. You got to click. Did you click?
I did.
Whoa. So now click.
There it is. Oh, this is not, that's not this. So you. Oh, wow. Look, Catherine.
We don't necessarily need the
It's
yellow
fine, right? Not on the
vertex,
side.
but we do need the 4 red ones, right?
Come on.
Come on.
What yellow one are you talking about?
Oh, the one that helped me to insert the mirror image.
I don't understand.
The one that was yellow before.
It was just yellow because you had it selected.
Because I forgot to click this button.
Oh,
Okay.
I see.
There we go.
Now that it's not selected, it's fine. Did it work?
Yes.
Did you put it in there?
And I zoomed it out. So
Okay.
I could find it.
You have the right point, right?
So now what you're going to, so let me pull up my other one for you. So here's my other one. You're fine, Eric. There's no problem with what you've done.
Okay.
You're exactly where you should be. All right, you got 4 points?
I have got 4.
Okay. You got 4 points? Okay. No.
Okay, there's the 1 point that I
Okay.
now, but where are my other ones?
Click that yellow button. That'll zoom you all the way out. Turn on your labels. X there, and then turn on your VX there. There you go. Now you can see them all.
Wow, beautiful.
So you've drawn
You
some
have so
extra
many.
ones.
I don't know why it is so many.
You drew some extra ones.
But hey, it looks nice. There are 2 triangles. Got it.
Okay, you got it?
No.
So let's turn on your labels. Hit that X right there. And turn on the VX as well. And now hit that yellow button right there.
Oh.
And now go to plan view, which is that big arrow down. There you go.
Okay.
No, that's an oblique. And yeah, right over.
All right, is everybody with me? Everybody there? Lee, you there? Okay. Everybody needs 4 points.
You could delete them.
No, I don't think I want them.
I think I want to be proud of myself for having so many. At least I did it right enough to count that.
I think I might have just, the one that disappeared, I think I just did it again.
Once you have your 4 points, I want you to go here and click this little button for Save Project Data. You should get in the habit of doing this every few commands. So hit that little thing to save. And then you're going to see that the other application, the main ease application, starts flashing at you. And that's because it's a totally different program that is sharing the same file. And it realizes now that something has changed. So you want to go back over to the main one, and you want to hit save as well there. That way it'll update its file. So you're going to hit save here in the room edit. And then you're going to go over to the main ease application and hit save there as well. You have to save in both places.
Press save project.
Hmm?
Oh, I pressed save
Save what?
project.
Yeah. Well, I would, yeah, I mean, that might work too, but I was doing that.
So,
Yeah. Okay. All right. You got 4 points yet? All right. So now what we have to do is create the actual surface. And this is called a face. We're going to insert a face. So you need to be in plan view here, where you're looking at it from the top down. And you're going to click on this insert face tool. And it activates it. Now here's what you're going to do. You're going to play connect the dots. But it's very, very important that you do them clockwise. It doesn't matter where you start, but you need to draw them clockwise. So like I will start here. I will click that one first. And then I will go to this one. And then I will go to this one. And then I will go to this one. And it says, oh, hey, I think I know what you're doing. You probably want to go back to where you started. Do you want to create that face? And I will say yes. And there it is. If you do it counterclockwise, it will draw it upside down.
So do I need to move to where the little arrow, the curve, like the pointing arrows on it, or this thing?
Yeah, where that little point arrow is, that's where you click. Click on that point.
Oh, the mouse.
There you go. And clockwise. The way you know you've done it right is you'll see the little box. It'll be yellow instead of white. If it's white, you've drawn it upside down. And there's a reason for this, because sometimes you might want it upside down. Okay? But if you draw it upside down, then it's going to put the ears in the basement. Okay? Maybe that's what you want. But in this case, it is not what you want. So make sure you're drawing clockwise when you're looking down on it. Okay? All right. Everybody got this?
And we're getting these coordinates from the seating
Correct. Okay, so it's going to bring up this little window here, and there's a lot of options here where you can add things, and none of this is important for what you're doing right now. So all of this is just you accept the defaults and just click OK. There you go. You've got your whole thing. Now, at this point, depending on what your theater is, and if you chose good points, you might be done. If your theater is a little bit more complicated, like if you have the Friedman Theater, for example, you might not be done yet, right? Because you've got a few more surfaces to draw. If you have the Patrons Theater, you might be looking at your surface, and you might be looking at your points and realizing, actually, I'm missing some seats in the coordinates I used. So you might want to do this again. And to do that, you can go ahead and just delete with that surface selected. You can just right-click and delete it, right? And you can delete that face. You can even go in and delete points if you want. Just click on them and right-click and delete. So if you want to go back and change where your points are, you can. In fact, you don't even have to delete them. You can just click on them and go to and right-click on and say Properties and just change the coordinates. So if you decide you want to move into a slightly different spot to capture more of the seating area or something, you can do that. Okay? And then I'm just going to go ahead and draw my face again here. So your assignment between now and Thursday is to draw all of the seating spots. Please get that far, because on Thursday we're going to do the next step. So between now and Thursday, I want you to have drawn all the seating areas that are, and make sure they're accurate, and that you've captured all the spots where someone could possibly have a head and a pair of ears sitting, and have a surface drawn on the floor for that spot. Okay? So like in my case, I've got a few more things to draw. So in our, we've got 15 minutes left here. I'm going to let you keep working on this. If you want to tweak it or keep drawing, you can, and I'll help you. Yes?
Can you use a point on multiple faces?
You can. In fact, I will show you that's about what that's just what I'm about to do. So if I go to my CAD file, I've got this third point here. So I'm going to go ahead and select it, snap to that, and now I'm going to draw a new one. And it looks like I'm dealing with 17.9731 and negative 73.3952. And then my z, let's go find out what my z is going to be. So my z is going to be there, 7.5. Okay.
And you're doing your X, Y, Z, like X being the front, Y being the middle, Z being like the back of that seating?
No, it's based on the UCS in AutoCAD.
Oh, that you, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so in here I'm going to now draw a new face. Now I'm going to use those 4 points. And it still doesn't matter where you start, you just have to go clockwise. So I'm going to start here and do that, and then go to that one, and it automatically says, hey, you want to do that one? I say, yeah, absolutely. And then you go to there, there's my face, yes, thank you very much.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't agree to that point.
Yep. There you go. Yeah, no need to, if in fact, you probably want to reuse the same point, because if you don't, there might be a gap. Maybe you didn't write the one in the exact same spot, and then Ease will be unhappy with you. And
Is it that easy to make easy happy?
oh, it's very easy to make Ease unhappy. It really doesn't take much at all. So I'm going to draw my side section here really quick, just to so you can see how that goes, because the grad students are going to have to do that. So here's a side section. So I'm going to put a point, looks like there. And a point there. And I'll put one there and one there. And I'll draw each of these. So this one is 15.3351. Y is negative 49. Excuse me. 0.1023. My Z value in this case is going to be 0 because it's on the floor. So there's that one. And then I'll get this one here, which is going to be 15.3342 minus 23.9355, Z of 0. And let's see, I'll go to this one now, which is, oh, one thing little speech I'd meant to give you is maybe at this point we've gotten far enough where you're going, hey, this seems a little ridiculous. Why doesn't this program work the way I wish it worked? And the answer to that question is you did not write the program. And therefore, you have no control over how it works or doesn't work. And therefore, any angst that you want to apply to that situation is just completely wasted energy because it is what it is. This is an industry standard program that works in a very quirky way, and you can't do anything about that other than not use it.
Ease 5 was just released. Nothing happens.
Yeah, they just released Ease 5. I haven't really looked at it. I don't know if it's a whole heck of a lot better or not, but
Looks like the modeling part of it, the 3D modeling architecture work is a lot more intuitive. But I haven't taken a look at the actual like area mapping or any of the other functions.
so, don't waste time being like, why is Ease stupid? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because you got to use it, and unless you're going to learn how to code and write your own program, then it doesn't matter. Okay, so I drew the 4 points for these side sections. And what grad students, you'll want to see this because this will be part of your world. So I've got these side sections just like you've got. So I had to draw all 4 points of it because it's all on one side of the center line, but it drew the mirror of all 4. Now watch what happens when I make the surface. I go ahead and I draw this clockwise. And it says yes, create the face, and it duplicates it for you. Okay? Yep. Now, another very, 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 very important thing to make sure you understand. These surfaces must be flat, or you will not have a very fun time. Okay? They must be flat. And the way they could maybe not be flat is if you get your Z's out of whack. Like you're on your back corners or something. In the back of the row, like one Z is like at 3 and the other is 3.1 because you clicked in slightly the wrong place. Well, when you draw those points together, it's going to create a warped surface. And Ease is going to be very upset about that. So please pay very close attention to those Z values and make sure that you're creating flat surfaces and not warped surfaces, because warped surfaces are going to be very difficult to plot sound on. Okay, so just be very careful about that. Yes?
I just want to be sure, like, if I was doing the further work on it,
if I'm doing this right, because like I added the z coordinates to like section plan.
What do you mean you've added z coordinates?
Or just like these are the coordinates of the section plan. That
Yeah, but what is that line?
that's the surface.
Well, then why are you writing new coordinates?
So I could get another surface.
Why do you need another one? Go to plan view. You've got a surface.
So that's the surface I have to work with?
Yeah.
Oh. I think I was just considering the incline.
It's already done that. Like if you go into isometric view and you start looking around at this thing.
I know, I hate it. I do too. Okay, good. I just wanna make sure that it's not the same.
Oh, you didn't put z's in. You drew these back ones on the floor.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you need to delete that surface.
And delete points, both 2 points.
Yep. So right click on it.
Delete.
Yep. And you can, yep, go ahead and delete that. And now go into plan view. Go into plan view. And now draw the surface. And now it'll be raked.
Jason,
Yep.
I don't know if I did it because mine looks very thin.
So go to plan view. Yeah, it looks like you didn't go.
Something.
Did you not scale your drawing?
Yeah. Unless I scaled it incorrectly.
So measure like from the front edge of that seat to the back edge of that seat.
Yeah, go to the help, register, yes, you wanna shut down the E's, and then over.
That looks right. Okay. So now show me your coordinates. Like go to your plan view in CAD. And so where's that? See, why is that so far away? Where's your UCS?
My ECS is still at.
Okay, prove it. Draw a line. Do L, enter. And nope, type 0, 0. Enter. Ah, that is not where your UCS is. You moved it again.
That.
So escape. So you got to move it. Somehow you moved it again. So put it in that spot.
That's not great. I guess here.
X needs to go point off stage left. Y needs, there you go. Keep it there. Somehow it got moved again. All right, we're out of time. So between now and Thursday, I need you to have all of your seating areas drawn for your theater, okay? If you don't have that done, then you will not be able to follow along on Thursday, okay? So have that done. Any other questions?
I kind of have a question, but it's not about this class.
Okay.
It's more just about overhire and soldering cables, and if there's specific cables you would like more of.
Okay, give me 1 second. So before we finish, make sure you upload your ease license. So if you've already shut down your computer and you didn't upload your ease license, you did it? Okay. So you're going to go to register. I'm going to say yes, and I'm going to click info, and let's see. So it says 6, so that means 4 people have uploaded. Who's uploaded? You 2. There's 1. Should be a, oh, that's right, one more because Thania's not here. Okay, great. So I'm going to upload mine. Yes. Finished. Let's make sure it went up. 5. Good. Okay, I'm good. Okay.